Aloha Kohala. It is 3 o'clock here on, what day is it? Wednesday, November 4th. And you're listening to KNKRLP 96.1 FM Kohala. This is Eila Allgood here with Michal Anna, and we are going to talk story with you. This is intuitive talk story because we both tend to be sensitive to what's going on in the energy field of life. And then we get together to do this with you as a way to bring forth what we feel, what we hear, what we sense could be valuable to you. It's always you deciding what's right for you. We're here to bring ideas to you, and you can bring questions to us. Our phone number here is 884-5657, 884-5657. If you have a question or comment anytime in the next hour, please give us a call. We'd be happy to talk with you. So Michal is going to get us started a little bit here as she's finishing up a very important thing that she's doing. And hello. Oh, here we go. Little volume.
A little volume. Aloha. I'm Michal Anna. I'm so happy to be here with Eila, talking intuitively as we love to do. And today, in this really polarizing time, kind of what feels really alive is the opportunity to move through challenges, anxieties, things that are coming up for all of us internally at this time, and remembering that they're an opportunity to move into greater self-awareness, greater self-love, greater self-acceptance, and really bring ourselves into greater harmony. Because kind of in this time, it's kind of cliche, but the only way out is in. So if you
say that again, say that nice and slow so people get it.
Well, and I'll preface it. So out there in the world, a lot going on. We can often, it doesn't matter if it's really in our personal life, our partners, our family, out to the big world stage. It's really easy to get wrapped up in what everybody else is doing and think that, that's the issue and that person is the issue. Well, that person does this to me and that person does that to me. And so we get real wrapped up in what's going on out there in general, and we think that's the problem. And, we miss our opportunity, because the true kind of way is that we are creating and reflecting back and receiving back whatever we're feeling and thinking and within our being. So in essence, it's kind of really all our movie in a way. And although that doesn't take away from our pain or our anxieties or our struggles, they're still, our struggles. And the opportunity presents us that if we try to fix it out there, we're probably not going to have as much success. But if we look at what we're feeling inside of ourselves and go, what is that? Why do I feel so much anxiety? Why am I feeling this? And get a little deeper about it. Oh. And that takes a lot of honesty, right? But that goes, so the bottom line is, and here's the phrase, the only way out is in. And that means going within yourself and finding the answers there, because that's truly the only place they are.
And before you came today, I took some time this morning to kind of get centered myself and say, well, what's coming up today? And when we got together, because we haven't talked to each other in a while, I had the same message about self-love, that each of us need to love ourselves before we can make the change that we want to see in our home, in our community, and that keeps rippling out to the state, to the country, to the world. But we need to love the person we see in the mirror, and it sounds corny, but to look at yourself in the mirror, like really look into your own eyes, is very, very powerful. And then to follow that up with saying the words, I love you, and meaning it. It's, we tend, I got goosies on that. We tend to find it easier to tell someone else that we love them. People throw the words around a lot, but when you look into your own eyes, you really can't, there's no, what word could I use? You can't lie. maybe people lie to one another about I love you, I love you, I love you all over the place. But when you look in the mirror and you look into your own eyes, there's no lying there. That's truth, and that's what resides within each of us. So as we can take those moments to really connect with who we are and to love ourselves, it empowers us to do fabulous, magnificent things in the world.
Absolutely. And you brought a couple of key things came up. You said the word lie. We can't lie to ourselves. And a couple of things came up with that one for me. Two things. One, fake it till you make it. Which is sometimes you might be looking in the mirror and you're like, I don't feel it. I don't know if I love myself. I don't know that I'm awesome. But you say it anyway. You fake it till you make it. It's a mantra. You're programming. It's actually programming. You're literally prayerful. You're spell casting. You're praying. You're intoning. You're manifesting. You're praying. And you're creating with your words. So you're saying, even though you may not feel with all this, every cell of your being, I love you. When you look at yourself, that's what you're creating with those words. You're creating that you want to feel that with every cell of your being. And I'm putting it in my body vessel so that that's what's happening. Yes, I love myself. Yes, my hip is healed. Yes, my shoulder's feeling better every day. Yes, my head and my neck are feeling, whatever it is, you're affirming what it is you want versus, this darn hip just still feeling horrible. Well, there's nothing positive in that sentence. So
no dwelling on what's not working. We're all aware of what's not working,
well,
right?
The universe only doesn't hear the don't.
Yes.
So if you're saying, I don't want to be broke, then all you're kidding is broke. Right? Okay, well, you want to be broke. Great.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I am thriving and I am successful.
Yeah.
Now I'm creating the energy of thriving and success. So, okay, so that's the first part on the lying. So fake it till you make it. So even if you're not totally feeling it, say it anyway.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah, that's a good point.
And say each thing you say 3 to 5 times. Like, don't just say it one time. Say it 3 to 5 times. Get it in. Or if you're feeling it, like if you're like, ooh, it's getting more, say it as many times until you feel like, oh, I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel that. I'm owning that. That's a really good indicator that, oh, that's getting deep inside there. I'm like, yes, I feel that when I say it. Okay, so then the second part of that, the honesty, is, gosh, self-growth, right, is all about our honesty. And honestly, we do lie to ourselves all the time. That's why it's so hard to grow, because we lie to ourselves. We trick ourselves. We go, oh, no, that's not really my issue. That's not really, no, I'm fine.
Or that didn't bother me.
I don't care.
That didn't bother me. I don't care. That's a great one.
I don't care.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
It's all good.
I don't care. Yeah, it's all good.
All good now. So, but all those might come from a deeper place, right?
Yeah.
And if we were to stop and look at that, which would require a lot of honesty, requires us to stop and be really honest and go, why was I being flippant to that person? Oh, I was feeling insecure. That takes honesty to say that to yourself.
Right.
And go, oh, I was being insecure. Oh, I feel insecure. Oh, I'm not loving myself. Like, I really don't believe. Like, to be able to say those things to yourself is the first step in changing it, right? You have to be able to acknowledge this is what's been going on, and yeah, I want to change it. And so that honesty, and right now, which brings us kind of that back to that world stage. Right now, I think you have to really be willing to be wrong in order to evolve. Our ego really wants to be right, and we all think we know a lot. We all have learned, quote unquote, a lot in school, quote unquote, or history, or how we perceive the world works, or how we perceive creation, or how we perceive any of this has come about. In order for us to move beyond our filters, we need to do that inner work of loving the self, but then we also need to be willing to go, you know what? What I totally have believed for the past, 40 years is wrong. Wow, it's not that at all. You have to be willing to say that, and that's a lot for our ego. Our egos don't want to be wrong. We don't want to admit that everything we've thought is really not the way it is. But that's the kind of energy we need to have in order to bust open the places in ourselves that are hidden from us by our own selves.
Well, I'll take that. where you are, because there's little hairs that stand up on the back of my neck when you say wrong, because I have some personal truths and not truths about that. And where I grew up in a very polarized right and wrong world, Mom said, you this is okay, this is not okay. Nope, that was wrong. So I'm kind of looking at it a little bit differently, where those things that I thought were the way I am or the way life is, that's not my truth anymore. I moved to someplace else.
Yes, that's a great way to say it. I like that.
And then my ego can stay out of it.
Right, I'm not wrong.
I'm a Leo woman. We have some ego that we need to be aware of. So I'm always looking for ways that work for me, and that's what this is all about. It's like, what language and what words work for you. We're two people sitting here talking similar, but we have different language around it. So find when somebody says something that doesn't resonate for me, I'm not going to make them wrong using that word. I'm just going to say, oh, that's interesting. It triggers something for me. Why? Because here's how I like to think about that. I like to think about it as I'm maybe re-sculpting my truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. And thank you for kind of like bringing, because we talk about the power of words, and I brought up right and wrong, which is you're right. You're right, and I'm wrong. No, but those words can be triggering because of their use in certain places, and it's important to recognize that there can be triggers on those words. I don't really have a trigger myself on them like that, but I understand that trigger and say, oh yeah, there's another way we can say it that blankets and doesn't hit a trigger for any of us, or we can just go, okay, you're allowing more information to come in, really. Yeah. You're widening the view, whereas we had a small view before. You go, oh, I thought it was this. Oh, wait. Oh, wow, it's this. Oh, wow, look at that. And then you go, oh, my gosh, it's just so much bigger than I ever thought. And so I guess we just have to be willing to see things from a different perspective, from another lens, so that you can understand it from another angle and basically add to your perspective.
Yeah, and also the what you were talking about, bigger perspective. I've done a lot with the animal world, and birds are big for me, and it's all about like going way up and looking overview. A bird flying high in the sky is seeing a whole lot more than I see from my porch or from the road. So it's that kind of metaphor of that big perspective. Look at the big picture of whatever's going on, even what's happening now in society. What is a bigger picture way of looking at that, so that we can get out of, for me, am I worried about what's going to happen? Am I anxious about, well, what's the bigger picture here? What's the potential for, we were talking about this before, the potential for growth and the potential for, what word did you use? Oh, I should have written it down. About this time, this transition time. Opportunity, that's the word, yeah. What's the opportunity in what's happening, either with yourself or with the world, however, whatever the person listening is dealing with right now?
Well, I really feel that this whole time we're in, this is a culmination, honestly, of a much larger cycle. And it's not just aligned with a quote-unquote pandemic or a quote-unquote election. It's aligned with a much bigger celestial and cosmic events.
Yeah.
And so, which is all smashing together at one time. So it can look like it's that thing, but it's really a number of things. And they're really just byproducts of the greater thing, which is change, which is movement into, well, there's the choice. This whole journey is all about choice, right? We all come to the earth, free will, choice. So the thing is choice. And right now, we are being offered the choice to either take off the shackles of our mind and expand and really meet your true self, which means pulling off your programs and wounding, which we've talked a lot about in the past, and really operating from a place of wholeness. And that's the opportunity that's really offered right now. And again, going back to that, if we look outside yourself and you think it's about the world, well, you'll miss it. You'll miss the opportunity.
Yeah.
But if you go, okay, everything that's triggering me and lighting me up right now is my opportunity, and it's all getting lit up because, wow, it's time to let it go. It's either time to let everything go, or you're just going to go deeper into all of it. So you're either moving it out or you're deepening the program. So right now it's more than ever because you feel the polarity, right? You feel it's like you're over here or you're over here, which honestly you don't want to be either of those spots. Forget all that. If you see a triangle in your mind, we've got, one side over here, one side over here on the bottom. Forget all that. Go to the top.
Yeah.
We're up here and we're going, oh, I'm in neutrality, looking at everything that's happening and loving myself because I know that nobody has power over my own body. Nobody has power over my mind. I believe in what I understand and think. I have faith in myself, and I know that I am an empowered being. I am a free and sovereign being, which is a great mantra, by the way, every day. I am a free and sovereign being. I am love. Say it often. That is really the opportunity.
Yeah.
That
Well,
I think
as you were talking about, some people may not feel like they have control over their whole body or their mind, depending on what's going on in their life. But we do have at our core is our spirit, our soul, and our spirit, and it's important to remember that that's your essence, and that this body is a vehicle to take you to where you want to go in this lifetime, and to honor that spirit. That spirit is. It needs your whole attention these days, and that's part of the transformation for all of us, is to get more in harmony with who we are and what we may be here to bring to the world, because the world needs the light of your spirit and the light of your soul.
And honestly, you need it, because that's why you came. You came to wake up. You came to remember, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And right. Also, just the opportunity to unpeel, like to peel back these layers and really sit at the table whole. Like we were talking earlier about community and how our opportunity to come together and really meet these places and then build together as a community. Well, we can't sit at the table all together as a community when half of us are in pain, and I'm offended by that person, and that person, I don't like that person because of this. And all those things are really only probably our own things. Like, it's really me I don't like. It's really something about myself I don't like, and so I can't stand seeing it in that person.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of back to, like, it's really not anything out there. It's all inside. So the only way out is in. And then when we do that, we can sit at the table. And the whole goal is to sit at the table whole, loving the self, and like, hey, Eila, what's up, amazing being? What's going down? What do you feel is alive, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I don't agree with you, but I like this idea instead. I like this.
Yeah.
And we just, we don't have to think the same. We can just bounce and enjoy and go, oh, does it make me less than? Does it make you more than? We're just enjoying on the same playing field as beings, as enlivened souls. And that's where we want to get to this. We're moving from a long place of patriarchy and a long place of competition.
Yeah.
And we're moving into cooperation with the self.
Not hierarchy either,
Right.
where you have power over, you have the leader in charge, and where everyone else
minions.
just goes along
Yeah.
with and has to do the little work, the worker bees. No,
instead it's a place where you go, Eila is amazing at that.
Yeah.
I'm amazing. What are your gifts? What are you good at? What do you guys all
Yeah.
what's everybody resonate? Okay, well then you do that, and I'm
Yeah.
going to do this because I'm great at that. And we all are doing our gifts. That's the
Yeah.
goal. We all doing our gifts, resonating, and just taking charge. You're doing your part, and we're all in it together equally,
Yeah.
with no level, no master slave programming.
Right.
We're in inequality.
Right.
And that's really that's the opportunity that
Yeah.
if we see that, we go, oh my gosh, we get to do this now, because there is a choice. The choice is huge. And so, you might say, how do I do that now? What do you even mean? Choice. Okay, you start with that. When I get up in the morning, do I choose to go brush my teeth, or do I choose to just, I'm too tired? That's a choice. There's a simple one, right? I brush my teeth because I want to take good care of myself. I love myself. I love my teeth. I want to have good teeth. Okay, one choice. All the choices we make throughout our day are offering us this opportunity. You walk by, you see a piece of plastic on the ground. Okay, there's a choice. Nobody's around you, just you. You can go and walk right by it and not pick it up. No one sees me. No, I don't want to get it. I don't feel like it. Or you can make the choice to pick that up, and I'm going to go and put this where it needs to go, and I don't want it to sit here on my street. That choice that you just made internally with no one around is what your entire reality is being based on. Your vibration and frequency of what you're feeling, thinking, and resonating in your body vessel day to day, all day, in every moment. That's creating your reality. So our choice is to meet the moment. And so with wounding, right, if you have a program, let's say you get angry, okay, you have to make the choice that I know I'm going to get angry, but I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to make a choice that when next time I get angry, my choice is to take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to choose to take 3 deep breaths and go walk away or sing a song, or I'm going to give myself a tool so that I have it when that moment comes, because it will come, because you will go back into whatever program you run. I'm not good enough. I'm a victim. I am not worthy. We all have run these things on some level. And so you're peeling that away. And so in doing that, you're being honest with the self and finding that place within to recognize and then move it out of your being.
We're going to take a quick station break and come right back with some more Intuitive Talk Story.
Kohala Cares has moved its weekly food drive from Sushi Rock to the Hub parking lot. Those in need can drive to the parking lot and pick up a bag of groceries. Pickup begins at 4:30 every Wednesday. Please wear a mask. Donations, especially produce, will be accepted Tuesday from 1:30 to 4 and Wednesday from 3 to 4:30. We want to thank all our donors and volunteers for making all this happen. Remember, we're all in this together. Mahalo.
Woman, sister, do you hear me? You are the giver of life. Your blood is...
This is Eila Allgood of Women's Voices. Tune in on Monday and Wednesday from 4 till 6 p.m. to listen to women from around the world, around Hawaii, songs with positive and empowering messages on KNKR-LP 96.1 FM. Monday and Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m.
Your bones are the trees in the forest.
Aloha Kohala, you're listening to KNKRLP 96.1 FM Kohala. If you want to call, this is Intuitive Talk Story with myself and
Michal Anna.
And it is, the phone number is 884-5657. We'd love to hear from you. So we were talking a bit at the break.
Choices. We're talking about choices because this is really the crux of everything. It's a choice. And we think, well, I don't have to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. But it's all choice and frequency. So if there's 2 thoughts right now, the 2 main thoughts I'm thinking, if you were just coming in, you want to walk away with right now is the only way out is in. And you are creating your reality with energy, frequency, and vibration. So how we're feeling and thinking within our being is creating and attracting back to us a similar frequency. So we want to become in harmony with the frequencies that we want to live in, and the frequency of love and joy, harmony, cooperation. Those are all higher frequencies. They actually reside above reason, which I find fascinating, especially for all my smarty people. Because it's when we're so smart, we can also miss it because we're so smart. And, just we get in our head, logic, and well, that doesn't make sense, and this and that. And really, in order to get to where we want to go, we need to connect all the dots. So we need to connect the head and the heart. And this is a big one definitely for all the men out there. And women too, but I was talking to actually a dear friend of mine, a woman, who was telling me that in parenting, she really made a concerted effort at one point to move from speaking from the head and really pushing her energy into her heart. She had with her child, she was like in the middle of it. Back to what I was saying, when it comes up, because when you're triggered, like they're driving me crazy and I want to rah, rah, rah. She had to say, I'm going into my heart. I'm going into my heart. I love my child. Let me be patient. Let me speak from love in my heart. And it was an act of choice that she had to make each time until you're making that new neural pathway. The choice becomes your norm, right? But you have to set it in to begin with. So making choices and setting yourself up for success and giving yourself challenges. The other thing she said that she loved and is a challenge. And it's true. I do this for myself too, which is you say, well, okay, my challenge today is I'm going to not, if it's angry or, I'm snappy, I'm just going to be so polite and kind today. I'm just going to be kind for the next 12 hours. If you're someone that gets activated a lot, maybe it's I'm going to be kind for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then
15 minutes.
And then I'm going to do it again
Yeah.
for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you're challenging yourself, and you might have to, maybe for some things you might be like, ugh, and then you gotta go, maybe you have to go scream. And then, okay, I'm going back in. I challenge myself to just stay in kindness for the next 4 hours. Whatever works for you, but I love giving yourself things that you can work towards and attain, because we also want to set ourselves up for success.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to say I'm going to go to that yoga class 4 times a week
Yeah.
starting this month.
Yeah.
And then you don't go, and then you
don't
feel
go
horrible.
once.
You don't even go once, and now you feel terrible about yourself because, boy, I don't get anything done. I don't do anything I say. That's not going to help you. But if you say, I'm going to stretch more, I'm going to get into my body more, and you just stretch every time you think of it.
Yeah.
You breathe every time you think of it. You carve out 10 minutes before you walk out the door. Then you're creating things that empower you, and you're creating victories. Look at me. I did yoga today. Look at me. I did my stretching.
Right.
I feel great.
Right. And they also create habits which work for your brain as well. And I
Yes.
want to say that, we all have thoughts that we wish didn't come sometimes, that we're all on this path of self-discovery. And it isn't that if you make this challenge where you're going to be in a place of kindness for a few hours, like Michal was saying, that nothing else is going to come to you. It means that when some thought comes to you and it starts to create anxiety for you, you just stop and you recognize it, and you say, no, that's not the path I want to go down. That's not who I choose to be in this moment. I want to focus on kindness. I want to focus on what's working in the world. I want to focus on gratitude. Gratitude is always the way out of the darkness.
Gratitude. We could do
Yeah.
an endless amount of things on gratitude. That's huge. So that's another trick, tool, I should say.
Yeah.
Tool is that whenever you're feeling like overwhelmed, anxiety, get into gratitude. I'm safe. I have a home. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat today. I have a hot shower. I get to go to the beach. I get just the numerous on and on and on about the small things you can be grateful for. And when you shift yourself into really concentrating on gratitude, you bring yourself present, you shift your energy into a higher vibration, and you start bringing yourself into more alignment. That's going to help move everything faster. So gratitude is huge. And, I've had a lot of travels around the world. So they've given me a huge memory bank of things to be grateful for, like real,
when you see people who are living
in a very
really
different,
poverty,
really hard
barely
situations,
getting food each day,
and are happy and blessed and grateful and kind, and not flippant, and they're like in love. And here, Americans, we're like, oh, my Wi-Fi didn't work, and all the whole day is ruined. So that's the thing. Back to our blessings. If we can get into gratitude and realize, well, wait a minute. That so this brings me into getting to know where things come from, what is actually really going on. if you don't, most people in this community, I really have to say, I think are pretty on top of it as far as understanding where my water comes from, my electricity, my food.
We're a bit more earth-based than I was when I lived on Long Island in New York. Yes.
Oh gosh, for sure. But for if anyone's listening from out there in the cities, that's also a really important thing to kind of ponder through your mind, because you just get into how does things work, becoming curious and seeing. It's also empowering because we take away a lot of the mystery. Part of why I think there's so much fear going on right now is because people don't know how things work. And like, I'm a massage therapist, a healer, I do spiritual work, etc. And I'm a dancer, a teacher, so I'm very body, mind, spirit oriented for all of my journey. And so in thinking about getting inside your own vehicle and inside your own body, you want to really. Oh, I'm losing my thoughts. Sorry, I just kind of blanked.
That's okay.
I had one of those little moments.
It must be time to go somewhere else.
Maybe so.
Yeah. So let me say something. You were talking before about somebody interacting with their children and how to do that and do it differently. And what I was thinking was, a lot of people have pets. A lot of people have animals either in their home or around their home, and that they provide us a real opportunity to grow. I've had a dog. A dog came into our life like 5 years ago that I so didn't want to have in my life, but it came and it wasn't going away, and it had behavior problems. And I've had to learn how to deal with my own energy around the dog. It's been a great learning for me because I started to realize that the dog was flipping out when people came over because I was flipping out that the dog might flip out. So it's like
picking up on your energy, your frequency, and your feelings.
So when I took him to a dog trainer, the dog trainer's training me. And then we're working together with the dog. So it helped me to see that I have an impact even on the dog, even on the cat. It's important for me to be conscious of that. So those of you who are listening out there, maybe you have a dog or cat or something at home, be aware of that animal and your interaction with it energetically, because they don't really care about what words you say. You can say nice things to them all day, but it's what are you feeling? And that same thing happens with especially
people.
Small children.
Yes.
But where they're just like little sponges and they pick up your stuff. It's like, don't be true to who you are and work to change it. Rather than being phony happy, this is
right. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
You ever hear that one? And that really is energy. So, if like for instance, if anger is your thing and you're working that out, you have if you have children, you even have more incentive to work that out because gosh, how does that child feel when they're getting traumatized by that? And it's not even what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And if we can all get that our vibration is really what we're, managing. And I can be, a little Riley myself, fiery, feisty.
Yeah, well, we all come in with these different characteristics,
yes,
right?
We do.
We're learning how to manage them.
Exactly. We learn how to manage our energy and deliver with, patience, kindness, grace. And it's a practice, for all of us, and choices that we get to make because we want to lift people up into their greatest self. We want to engage in, harmony with our children, with our families, with all the people in our lives, with ourselves. First and foremost, because if we're yelling at anybody, we're really just yelling at ourselves. We're really just mad at ourselves for something. We're really just upset. Anything we say outside really is really about ourselves.
Years ago, my mom and Dad went through a divorce, and at some point my mom started talking about she wanted to leave New York and go to Montana and get a little cabin in the woods. And she said this again and again, and I was in my 20s. I was like, so why don't you do it? Like, nothing's keeping you here. Go. She's like, because wherever I go, I am. And I loved that statement.
Yes.
I really got it.
That's
I was
right.
like, because she was angry. She was angry with him. She was angry. She knew if she went there, that wouldn't change.
Nope. Wherever you go, there you are. I say that one. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, and I think that's good for where we live, for those people who might be listening who moved here, maybe to get away from something or someone, is that we
follows
still
ya.
it comes with you. Maybe the person didn't come, but whatever that energy is that you need to work through, it's there. And people who have lived here their whole lives, they're on a different kind of a path. But
And
Yeah.
this gets into like, just again owning your own energy. Like when you're in a
Yeah.
family setting, partnerships, multiple people, however, that you're dwelling with. Obviously, we're all different. We're all going through different stuff. So it's knowing what's mine and what's yours. Well,
Yeah.
that's you're upset today. That's yours. Well, that you're happy today. That whatever. It's yours. Being clear about what my stuff is and what somebody else's stuff, and not getting necessarily drug in or
Yeah.
involved in any of those things. Be like, oh, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I can empathize, and I don't have
Yeah.
to meet you in that energy. Or if I'm feeling in that, I don't have to bring my family members into that energy. I can choose to go work it out on my own with myself. This is my stuff. I don't need to spew it on other people.
And that's a good point about communication with people that you live with. It's like, you know what? I am not in a space of openness and love right now, so I'm leaving. I'm going
Right.
to go outside.
Communicate.
Yeah. So it's not you, it's me, and I have some stuff to deal with. And maybe that person is ready to say, oh, well, talk to me about it. I want to hear it. And maybe they're not. So
Right.
it's
And
not their
honoring
responsibility.
each other where that
Yes.
is. Wherever you're at, honoring one another.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't move through it right now. I
Yeah.
need the time. And so we have to honor that. And
Yeah.
that comes into really patience and communicating and holding space for one another. If you're really doing the work and peeling away things and hey, I really am making changes. It's not easy. You're going to fall down. You're going to go through hard times. You're going to run up against yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to have to I did it again. You're going to go through those things because it's not easy. But it's simple. But it's not easy. But it's simple. It's just do the steps. Pull
And
it away.
sometimes
Make
it's
choice.
harder depending on what's going on in your environment, what's going on
Yes.
with you biologically. You
Oh,
know, sometimes
yes.
if your system is off, if you caught a cold or you've been eating a lot of sugar this week, your mind isn't working right, and it makes everything maybe a little more challenging. So to be patient with yourself, I think, is really important.
Absolutely. And honestly, what you just brought up about nutrition is
Yeah.
huge. The body, we can't really function properly if all of our organs and everything's not running smoothly.
Yeah.
For me, chiropractic, if I'm out of alignment, my energy is not flowing up your spine. You're literally not getting all of the information. So having a clean system, and I think I've mentioned this before, but superfoods and deep nutrition. If you are someone that needs help in that, honestly, if you want we have access to some really great superfood stuff. If you want to learn more about that, you can reach out. But yeah, it is definitely crucial for our brain function and our bodily function, and then that is what creates our emotion. Because if we're like you said, if you have too much sugar. If we're a yeast-ridden environment, everything white converts to sugar, pretty much.
Right. So all your flours,
any
anything
bread,
made with flour.
all your breads, and
Yeah.
that's basically a sugar diet. Well, over sugars create candida environment, which creates emotional imbalance, which can lead a lot. Like, I feel great now, I feel sad, I feel great. So if you're
Right. Those highs and lows.
yeah, so if you tune into yourself
Yeah.
and think, like, how do I feel each day? And maybe I just need to eat something better or change up my diet. That's a simple way to fix a problem, is just change how you eat first and foremost. And I do remember what I was going to say from before.
There it goes.
There it is. It's that when I always find this fascinating as a massage therapist, someone who works on bodies, for 22 years, I think it's fascinating that we come to this planet, you could get in this space suit, your Earth suit, and really nobody tells you anything about it. Like school, your whole training, your parents, pretty much nobody knows much about this thing. You have to actually go look for it and try and figure it out. And that's bewildering to me. If you bought a new Maserati,
Right.
you would get that car. You'd be like, okay, how does it run? Let's look under the hood. What's the plugs? How do I keep it maintained? What's the best fuel for this bugger? What kind of injection fuel do I need? Do I want to do anything special for it? How does it run? How do I rev it high? How do I rev it low? Ooh,
Right.
it takes the turns really nice like this if you give it just a little nudge. So you would find all the nuances of this car. You would make sure it's got the best tires. You'd make sure it's painted. It's looking cherry. Okay, you'd be all about this car. Now you get here and you ask anybody, like, well, where's your gallbladder? Well, I don't even know. What do you know? L5.
Okay,
I don't even know about a vertebra. So this is fascinating. And really, it's the reason why there's so much fear right now as far as the health, our body health, because most people don't know anything about their bodies. So of course you're afraid because, well, you don't know how to heal it. You don't know how to put good things in it. When in actuality, there's like nature and there's herbs and vitamins and all these amazing things that we actually have immense power to heal ourselves. But when we put in all these toxins, these chemicals, these processed foods, these processed sugars, chemical dye number 4, yellow, whatever, we are literally deadening our body environment, which deadens our abilities to access greater information. And since we don't have much information about how it works to begin with, you just feel confused, lost, and like, I don't even know what to do because I don't know anything about this thing. And so somebody's got to tell me about it. And that guy's telling me I should do this with it. So I guess I better listen to him. But the truth is, we can listen to ourselves.
Right. That's what you bring up is what we were talking about before, hierarchy, patriarchy, the medical profession, the doctor. Now, we're not giving you advice. Don't go see your doctor. We're not doing anything like that.
No.
It's just not giving your power away to somebody else, whoever they are.
Yes.
But when it comes to your body, to be able to make intuitive decisions. You get your information, you get that all in your brain, and also you get to know what's true for you in here so that you can make a decision that's right for you. Because each of our bodies are similar, but there may be little differences that yours works a little different on this food and mine works better with that food. We can pretty much say anybody doesn't work good with sugar and flour, but I think it's important that people look at their own intuitive ability when it comes to their health and their body.
Well, and the more you start tuning into your health and saying, I want to feel good and I'm going to eat better. I'm going to do things to promote feeling good.
Yeah.
You learn about your body.
Yeah.
And in that process, you feel empowered because now you know, okay, I put healthy foods in my body. I don't do processed sugars. I don't do fluoride in my toothpaste. I'm not getting glyphosate in my body because I'm not eating Roundup-ridden corn,
GMOs.
wheat, soy products, whatever.
Yeah.
So you know what's going in your body. That's number one. Because if knowing what you're putting in, it's your fuel. What are you putting in there? That's what's running your whole vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you are putting in healthy, good things, and my organs are working, I'm building my immune system. How do we build our immune systems? You can do lots of things. I mean, again, this is not medical advice or health advice. I am just saying what I do.
Sharing
my own experience.
Yeah.
And my experience, I love olive leaf. There's one of these 3, olive leaf, elderberry, or echinacea golden seal. One of those 3, all of those are immune, bacterial, antiviral herbal supplements. They're all 3 great for building immune, whichever one kind of works with your body best. That's one easy way, like just incorporate that. Like I'm going to do I'm not feeling, you start feeling just a little off, just start taking the olive leaf, start taking the elderberry. You're getting water every day. Remember, our body's 78% water. We need a lot of water. We forget this. 8 glasses a day. I know. They're like, 8 glasses, my God. That's a lot of water. Yes, drink it. Drink the water. Drink it.
Be grateful you have it.
Give thanks you have clean water. I've been in places where there is not clean water.
Yeah.
And it is, we're so grateful.
Yeah.
So these, knowing these things about our body, like right now, we're getting all sorts of mixed information out there. But I just know from my own self that I work in the yard. I'm gardening every day. I'm getting my hands in the soil. Healthy microbes and bacteria actually keep us healthy.
Yeah.
They keep us fighting or keep our natural immunity. We have immense amount of power in our beings. We are divine, from the divine creator. So we are filled with all the God particle. And so that is all within us. So getting in the ground and getting healthy microbes helps me fight things. So we don't want to actually kill off all of our healthy bacteria.
Right.
We want to, we cultivate immunity to things and build our bacteria. We want to get some sunlight, which thankfully for all of us here in Kohala,
we get a lot.
We get a lot of sun, and we get in the ground. I know a lot of you out there, we're all farming, which is awesome. It's so cool. I know so many people growing food now again, which is so exciting. And thank you to all of you who've been holding it down growing food for so long. Mahalo. And so these kind of we don't have to be afraid if we realize that we have the power over our own health. That you care power, I'm not going to get sick. Maybe I have care for my friend or for this. Okay, but let's do specific, let's give empowerment to them so they don't have to be in fear either. And then they might have to do certain things. If you have pre-existing conditions, whatever, you want to be aware, careful. But in general, we can move ourselves into a higher vibration because when we're in fear, we're also more prone to being sick.
Yeah.
So if we lift ourselves up into like, I know what I'm doing. I care about, I feel good.
I'm eating well. I'm moving my body. I'm meditating or whatever it is that you do for your peacefulness and centering.
Sweating
you
and releasing toxins.
Sweating, yes. Whether sweating is running down the street or just walking on a hot day and getting that out. And Michal was talking about getting her hands in the soil, and I just got a book delivered the other day that I ordered about conductive medicine, and it's all about the energy of the earth, the physical electrical energy of the earth and how our bodies need that. And by putting your hands in the soil, by holding a tree branch, by walking barefoot even on the concrete, we get that, and it nurtures us. And the story the woman told who wrote the book, she's a medical doctor, was that she had a screaming colicky baby, and the only way she could get the baby to stop screaming was she went outside
Grounding.
and she sat on the steps of the back of her house with her bare feet on the concrete. And she said that was the only place she'd spend most of her day outside because it was the only time the baby stopped crying. But it got this person who was a medically trained professional to look into why is that happening. And now there's this kind of unearthing of conductive medicine where people are being strongly encouraged to go touch the tree and put your feet on the ground.
Right.
And make sure your skin is touching the ground. It's not just sitting on the ground in your shorts. It's making sure your skin is in
Touching the
contact
earth.
with anything of the ground, the trees, the leaves. So now when I walk up Hoea Road 4 times a week. Where I used to find the grass really annoying that grows on the side, now I just run my hands across it. I'm like, oh, I'm getting some nice conductive energy here. So just something else for people to be aware of.
Absolutely. Well, it's all energy.
Yeah.
So, that's just now the science is it's all physics. I mean, we're proving it. We're proving it. The science is proving it. It's all energy. It's all, and we're connected to all of it. So when you're touching that tree, you're actually tapping into the wisdom of infinity, the infinite wisdom of God, creator, however you phrase it. We are all one thing. We're all from that one divine source, divine life running through us all, infinite source energy that's in all of us. And most of the wisdom I feel like I've really attained has been from this land. Like most of what I've learned has been from the earth. It has been, there's been, of course, things I study, but I really stopped studying things in my early 20s and just went into the earth for over a decade and didn't really study in that format.
Yeah.
I was just meditating and learning and being on the ground and feeling and farming and all that. It's it. That's it, man. I mean, that's it. And I feel so grateful because I'm back on the ground, taking care of the land in a way I haven't in over a decade. And because I was traveling and going many other places.
Right, and we've all had to
change it up.
Put the brakes on the travel, so
right.
We're getting more connected to the earth and ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. And that's really what's, again, back to the opportunity. Whatever we've seen as the struggles of this year.
Yeah.
And the real, deep things many of people are facing. And just a lot of empathy to anyone out there who is facing big adversity or challenges. Know that you are not alone, and that all of these tools and things we talk about I hope help you in finding ways to move out of those places and to move into greater harmony for yourself. And that we're all with you. We're all in this together. And as we shift ourselves, we do help one another. As we shift our vibration into greater harmony, we help each other. We become the new earthers, right?
Yes.
The ones that are creating the new harmonious earth. And that's with our choice every single day, even when no one's looking.
And
choosing.
it's exciting. I
yes.
mean, I know there's a lot of hardship and hard times, and not to diminish that. And there's also, through change, you don't exactly know where we're going to be down the road. That's what change is about, and this is a huge transformation. And I just think it's full of opportunity and possibilities, and it's my choice to look at it that way. It's your choice where you are to what perspective do you want to have on what's happening either in your world of your home and or your community and or the world. And one of the things I wanted to say, you were talking about how we're all connected and we're connected to the earth. And as we go through the next days and throughout our life, and we look at, oh, those people over there, that's terrible what they're doing. We're all connected. So what I do when I'm able to be conscious of it is that when I see somebody doing things or behaving in a way that I disagree with, is I just ask for divine light to go to that person.
Yes.
Just send, because that gives me something to do that can help. And it helps me. It helps me feel elevated rather than be in judgment about what that person should or should not be doing or saying or.
So, and I love this. It's so right on. You know, if you think of like, it's all one, okay? It's like everything's God. Nothing's outside of God. It's like, we're all within God. So it's like this giant, think of this giant, you know, you could think of Shriyantras or geometry, these triangle, like triangles imposed. We're all one little fractile of that triangle in a bigger mantra or bigger design, one little piece. So that person, when Eila, if Eila's sitting across from me, let's say she's sad or something, that's just or she's doing something weird that I don't like, but that's just she's just one part of me that I don't like.
Yes.
And so I have to see it like that and go, and you think about another level, like, I'm choosing to love myself, so I want to have compassion for that one little part of me that I maybe have a hard time with. So I'm going to choose compassion for that one little thing that I don't like for this person in front of me. I'm going to be compassionate. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Let me drop into why are you feeling that way? Or what is this going on for you? Let me just be there for someone.
Get curious
and hold space. And that compassion, because the more compassionate we are with ourselves, we obviously
can be that way with others.
Well, and as we do the compassion and forgiveness, we really drop into truly loving ourselves. And in the compassion and forgiveness of self is crucial to us loving ourselves. And we think sometimes we love ourselves, but you know, that's why, again, where I say not to be wrong, but to be willing to go dig a deeper, to be willing to look a little perspective, to go, well, I thought I loved myself, but that's still coming up. Look what I just did. I might need to look at something else. The ability to keep saying, oh, there's more. Oh, there's more. It's just, there's always more. Yeah. Oh, there's always more. So it's not like we're getting somewhere other than you're just being committed to being present here now.
It's the journey. It's really being present in the journey of what's happening for you who are listening, for me, for Michal, in this moment. What's happening, what's up, what's working, what's not working, and what can I do about what's not working in myself first, and then in the world around me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know, Eila and I do both have some channel online stuff, Michal Anna at YouTube and eilaallgood.com. If you're looking for more talks or meditations, I have over 50 on my site.
Well, and you can also contact us that way if you wanted to talk about anything.
If you want to reach out, or if you'd like to do session work or any of those type of things, we are here.
I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to come right back for a few more moments.
The following is a community advisory from the Hawaii Department of Health. To help keep our island and Ohana safe, if you feel sick with cold or flu-like symptoms, the Department of Health recommends stay home from work or school, avoid contact with others, seek medical care with your doctor or healthcare clinic. Before you go to the doctor's office or clinic, call ahead to tell them of your symptoms. For more information regarding coronavirus, Hawaii County has a call center open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily at 935-0031 or on the web at www.cdc.gov.
DJ Annalisa Remix Bisayan Budot. Tagalog Larawang Kupas. And to these hits, Lane and Dub. Only here, Pinay's favorite hits. Every Thursday, 11 to 1. Dito sa KNKRLP 96.1 FM. Kuhalas.
Okay. All right, we're back here. We only have a few minutes, and Michal is going to take us out today with some little meditation. And if you'd like to hear these shows, they're on Spotify and Google and Apple Podcasts under Intuitive Talk Story under KNKR.
And there's also on my channel at Michal Anna
There
as
you
well,
go.
replays of these.
So thank you, everyone. I'm going to say goodbye, and she's going to take us out with some meditation. And stay tuned for Women's Voices. Will start in a few minutes. Aloha.
Okay, everyone. So we're going to end with a little mini meditation. And so if you are able to just take a minute, 5 minutes, and close your eyes and stop what you're doing, and unless you're driving, please don't close your eyes. But no, and just take a breath, and let's get grounded here, and just do a couple little tools that you can take with you and use on the daily. So closing your eyes, and just take 3 deep breaths. Just kind of visualizing yourself in the center of your head, in this beautiful sacred space here in the center of your head. Just begin feeling into a beautiful space for you to just be safe and to do anything you want in this space. And from this space, just visualize roots of a tree growing down from the bottom of your spine, your sacrum. You're going to see those roots growing down through the floor, through the earth, hot magma, volcanic rock, to this beautiful center, brilliant light. You could see a crystal sitting in the center. And just let yourself ground into that. Let the roots flow into that light. And as it does, just let it be like a vacuum, just releasing now anything out of your body that you don't need today. Any anxiety, frustration, worry. Allowing all that to dissipate, knowing that you are safe and whole in your being. Bringing your energy into the center of your head and visualizing from the top of your head a column of light extending up through the sky, blackness, stars, just beautiful red ruby heart, the God of your heart. Connect into that red ruby heart. Just feel connecting to your source, divine energy. See a lasso of golden light extend clockwise around that red ruby heart, down around that column of light, around your body, down around to the center of the earth. And in this essence, just knowing you are safe here to do energy, spiritual work, to look at yourself, to do any reprogramming you want to do, you can come to this space. And for today, we just want to do on the daily, remove anything that does not serve us, that's not ours. So right here and now, just intentionalize. I intentionalize here and now to remove all transmuted energies from my being that do not belong to me. Any information that is not mine, I release from my body. And you can ask my guides, your angels, however you like to pray. You can ask for help and just ask now that we release that into the ethers, going up into the light, taking all that's not yours, lifting it off your shoulders, just releasing it to beyond the veil, to be moved into its true place in the light. Anything that doesn't belong to you. And taking this sword of blue ray light truth energy and just seeing it wrap around your body, cutting around your body. Exhale your breath as well and see it cut all cords around you to any people, beings, places, things, connecting all things, people back to the God of their heart as you are connected to the God of yours. Breathing into that wholeness as you just release anything that doesn't belong to you here and now, letting it go with your breath. And just filling up now, just green light through your heart, just intentionalizing that I am worthy, I am good enough, I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. I am worthy, I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. I am worthy, I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. Locking that into your being here and now. Seeing yourself in a pillar of white light, just letting that light roll around you, a protective shield, reflective shield, reflecting all things back to source light, energy, and love. And taking 3 deep breaths into gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mahalo nui loa kua. And opening your external eyes, enlivened and at peace, and ready to meet the rest of your day. Aloha.